And this is what I did at Farmers Winery when I told you I did the analysis. The unfortunate thing is I did it too late. So I couldn't avoid this disaster. I did it after the fact. That is the Bols Brandy percentage of income needed for 1% market gain. The chart that I showed you before. Bols Brandy had about a 6% market share. Farmers Winery, amongst all its brands, had about a 12% market share. So what the guys did in the thinking, when they allocated the budgets, was they allocated about 11% of the turnover for Bols Brandy. So they were actually milking some of the other brands and investing a little bit more than what it would have required. We didn't have these graphs. That's the problem. But that is what we did, in fact. So what happened to Bols is it grew its market share. We said, oh, okay, this is a winning brand. There is a new trend out there in the market. And we invested 11% of the turnover into advertising. We didn't know that we are over-investing by this criteria. So we grew by quite a lot of percentages. Now we are really counting our chickens. This is great stuff. So we again invested 11% of turnover. And that's a big, big budget increase because turnover has now gone up very high. And what happened? Increased market share. Again, put in 11%, increased market share. Put in 11%, which is about what the brand required, and we increased market share. And then we put back 11%, because what worked in the past must work in the future. What happened? Well, we gained a bit of market share. And we put in 11% again. But based on our advertising leverage, that is the second year that we did what we shouldn't have done. And we lost market share. So we again put in 11%, and put too little, and we lost market share. Just because we were not playing the brand's advertising leverage, that's all. We didn't do the mathematics. We, like every good accountant, said, okay, put 11%, it seems to work. While the brand is growing, you are putting in 11%. So you're actually spending quite a lot more because that's calculated on the brand growth. So after 2 years of losing market share, what did we do? Good marketers. We said, life cycle problem. We had our nice run, now the run is over. Maybe we should change we should reposition the brand. We did a lot of research, found ourselves a new target market, being a lot of younger people. We worked out a very modern positioning for Bols Brandy. We gave it new packaging because we are now going for the younger market, and we gave it a new advertising campaign because we've now reached the end of. And we also forgot repositioning requires much more money than positioning. So here we are, repositioning a brand because we did not invest in the brand when we should have. And now we are changing the whole brand. And the problem is Bols Brandy, 20 years later, is a 3% market share brand. We lost it. It's a nonity. And Farmers Winery still believes it had its little life cycle. It happens. I see it happen. And it happens because people are not doing that one little step before they do their brand. Let me talk about just big companies. where all companies, when the brand manager does his plan, has to make the following assumptions. He's got to say, that is the size of the total market. He's got to say, this is my market share. He's got to say, that is my income being market share of the total market. He's got to say, well, this is my advertising budget. That's what he's asking for. So he's got all those numbers. The only two things that he also has to say is, well, that's what I think the competitors might be spending. But he knows what they're spending. He's now got to say, what are they going to do next year? What are they going to do next year? More than likely increase their spend by about inflation. So you can make a good estimate. So once you've got how much they are going to be spending, how much you are going to be, how much you are requesting, you are, in effect, hypothesizing your own dynamic difference curve. So whether you've done the dynamic curves or not, it actually sits there. Except management doesn't ask you to do that. If for 60% of the brands, you can do it empirically and say to the brand manager, okay, so how are you actually going to get that? Then you get through the discussion a lot faster. You can talk to the financial guys a lot faster. And then you can do this. It's not a very difficult thing to do. Is you look at brands A, you write down, okay, that is the total market, that is the market share, so I know what my income will be next year for each one of these different brands. If I get 1% market share growth from every one of these brands, well, what is that worth to me? So now either I've got a big market share already in a small market, that's worth a lot. I've got a big market with small market share, so you know what one extra market share point would be. You say, okay, now, based on my assumptions, what is the advertising share requirement for that one extra point? And that is going to depend on your current market share and your advertising leverage. And you say, okay, and what is my expected competitive spend? That is the one that people don't normally put into their marketing plans. So you've got your cost of the expected AS. And you have a simple thing here that says, oh, so that's my dollar income from my dollar cost. That's my ROI. So now you know where brands can deliver the big bucks and why. And then you can start your budgeting process. Now you can start discussions. Because now you've got every basic fact that you need. And you can